Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. TGIG, you found the crap factor, and I'm your humble host, Dr. Haight. The reason I say TGIG is because I'm doing my show on Thursday this weekend. I'm heading out of town. You're going to find out why in a little bit. Got a good show for you tonight. I hope you stick around. Lots of cool fun facts the guys are going to dig. So let's get her going. Let's start with our Chew the Fat segment. It's called Hanging Around Washington. Remember the D.C. madam who was about to spill her guts on numbers and names of high-level officials in the political arena? On April 15, 2008, Miss Pelfrey was found guilty of tax-related crimes by the IRS. May 1st, she was found hung, and police told the press it was suicide. The press also reported it was suicide, and foul play does not appear to be involved, they said. Brandy Britton, one of Miss Pelfrey's employed escorts, was found hung on February 6, 2007, and police claimed that was a suicide as well. What say you? Okay, in our good news segment tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to the BBC. A young woman from Sheffield has turned a coursework project into an award-winning stair-climbing device for older and disabled people. Ruth Amos has launched her Stair Steady handrail at NADEX 2008, the annual disability exhibition in Birmingham. She told BBC News that she was inspired to create the device for the father of one of her teachers who had had a stroke. The Stair Steady is a horizontal rail at 90 degrees to the wall or banister that people can hold onto as they go up or down stairs. A friction device inside the handrail enables a user to move it up or down, but it locks when weight is applied in order to give added support. Ms. Amos says her invention will enable people who have difficulty with stairs to remain active, something that she says is not the case when a stair lift is fitted. The significance of this story, folks, is not only that it helps people, but this young lady is 16 years old that invented this product. She's going to take a couple of years off before she goes to college, and she's going to put this bad boy into production. And she'll probably be rich before she becomes a freshman. So young people do think. That's inspiring. Very cool. This next story, the Citizen Alert segment, was given to me by my very own lovely sister, Becky Ripley. Thank you, Becky. And that's where I'm going this weekend. Mike and Becky Ripley's daughter, Jessica Ripley, congratulations to all, will be getting married this weekend. And Ripley's always throw a good party, so we're going to go party. Looking forward to that. It's going to be a good time. Alright, this is called the Revolutionary Electric Motor. It could save you a ton of dough if this actually happens. Imagine a machine that could power your house for free. That's exactly what two Australian inventors unveiled, the world's first commercial motor generator which can power a house with a continuous, clean, green, and virtually free energy source, which are neutrinos and other gamma particles coming from our sun and have mass and electrical charge. The machine, developed by Brinsmead mechanical engineer John Christie and electrician Lou Britz, have an international patent pending, and the motor generator is expected to go on the market for $4,000 to $5,000. The invention has such a huge potential in the quest for clean green energy production with no harm to the environment that Mr. Christie indicated they had feared the worst once they realized the significance of their invention. We were afraid our kids would be kidnapped, or we would be shot, or our laboratory burned to the ground like has happened in the U.S. I'm not kidding, he said. You hear horror stories about people running up against the oil companies. Oil companies need not fear the competition, as it will take 20 years to get to most households, and by that time, we'll be out of oil. The average home with a pool needs only 14 kilowatts of energy per day, which means 12 kilowatts daily excess would be left over. Well, maybe we could sell this back to the grid, if indeed the electrical companies don't buy out this patent and dump this motor. What do you think? All right, ladies and gentlemen, now the good part. We've made it to the fun facts for the week. I like the fun facts. Okay, people who drink coffee are less likely to commit suicide than people who don't. According to statistics, Australian women are most likely to have sex on the first date. How come nobody told us that when we were able to move? Women who went to college are more likely than high school dropouts to enjoy both the giving and receiving of oral sex. And hate and angst believe in education, ladies. You guys owe me big for this information, all right? Dr. Haight clued you in on all these goodies. You owe me. 89% of the Mexican population is Roman Catholic, 6% Protestant, 5% other religions. And last but not least, the first football player on a Wheaties box was... He played for the Bears. Come from Columbia, Walter Payton. That's right, the awesome Walter Payton. And our food for thought segment this week, ladies and gentlemen, comes from Stephen Wright and blows a very big hole in Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. Well, here it is. I know I shouldn't talk with my mouth full. If man evolved from apes, why are there still apes? That's a good question, ladies and gentlemen. Very good question. Our quote of the week is by our beloved Charlie Brown. Sometimes I lie awake at night and ask, where did I go wrong? Then a voice says to me, this is going to take more than one night. Thought for the week by Carl Menninger. Fears are educated into us and can, if we wish, be educated out. And our riddle of the week, May 9th, ladies and gentlemen, let's start with our answer to last week's riddle. And last week's riddle was, Kathy has 6 pair of black gloves and 6 pair of brown gloves in her drawer. In complete darkness, how many gloves must she take from the drawer in order to be sure to get a pair that match? The answer is, and a couple of you folks got this right away, 13. She could possibly take out 6 black left-hand gloves and then 6 brown left-hand gloves. The next one would have to be either the right hand or left hand match. There you have her. Next week's brain teaser may be a little easier. Did I give you the answer here in the question? How long did the 100 Years' War between France and England last? How long did the 100 Years' War between France and England last? Be careful. I can trick you up on these. You won't get the answer till next week. I'm not kidding. Okay, let's move into our letters from the viewers. I got some more letters. Susan in Oklahoma City writes, Dear Doc Kate, I've been volunteering at the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon since its inception, and it is a very special race. Thanks for the plug. Thank you, Susan, for volunteering. That's what makes the race so good, is you volunteers, and I hope to make the 9th annual next year. It's an awesome event. Bob from Anaheim, California writes, Doc Kate, Ron Paul all the way. I can't really argue with that, Bob. I think he's a good, viable choice. And you folks that don't know who Ron Paul is, I recommend that you Google him. Go to his website. Check him out. He actually still believes in the Constitution. You won't see him in the press much because the press does not give time unless you're one of the elite. You get brushed aside. George in Clinton, Oklahoma writes, Doc, my dog came home after a week as well. I thought she was a goner. Good story. Good letter, George. I'm glad you and your puppy made her back together. I'm hearing more and more of those stories. It's amazing how dogs got like this built-in GPS system. Somebody needs to research that. Sherry in Grand Forks writes, Doc, skimmers are more abundant than you think. Protect your identity with identity theft insurance. I got to tell you, Sherry, I think I've heard a lot about identity theft insurance. It's probably a good idea, but personally, Doc Kate doesn't want to pay for any more insurance. I'm getting insurance to death already, like I think probably most Americans are. I'm counting on my bank to insure me and get that secure. That's probably stupid, but I just can't afford all them insurances. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for the week, Thursday, May 8th. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to have a wonderful weekend. If you want to take a shot at the riddle or send a letter, send it to doc8@hotmail.com. Name and town to doc8@hotmail.com. As usual, we are sponsored by www.hatecards.net, where they are always anonymous, ladies and gentlemen, and we are loading cards as we speak. Within a week, we will be online. I am sure of it. Okay, so let's get her done. Check us out. It's a lot of fun. Our 2008 political series, again, is free for the entire election year. We got something for everybody there. I can't wait for the vice presidents to get chosen so I can write some more cards for them. And remember, after all is said and done, more is said than done. Have a great weekend. Oh, one other item before I leave. Went to Toby Keith's restaurant. I love this bar. If you take a military ID into any one of Toby Keith's establishments, you eat for free. That is very cool, ladies and gentlemen. Toby Keith patronizes restaurants. He's supporting our troops. Dr. 8, Professor Anks, and the Crap Factor support our troops as the rest of us Americans do. Hang in there, ladies and gentlemen, overseas. We're behind you. We got your back. Have a great weekend. Dr. Haight out. Later.